How's it going, guys? It's your boy Kanji FPL and welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to be breaking down my 5 best bets for game week 9. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Our first best bet takes us out to the London Stadium where West Ham are going to be hosting Manchester United. And if you got clickbaited, yes, this is the player prop that we're going to be taking. This is the guy on the thumbnail and his name is Alejandro Garnacho, and he's been Manchester United's shining light over the past year and a bit. And we're going to be backing him to get 2 shots and get one of them on target. And we're going to be adding in the icing on the cake, which is going to be Manchester City to win versus Southampton. Now that just feels like the absolute lock. It's just an odds booster to me. I'd be completely shocked if that doesn't hit because it's the best team playing against the worst team on paper, so it just makes sense. Now Garnacho is actually in a weird spot where you have the legacies of Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford, and you would think that they are the best players in the team. But at times when I've been watching them, I just feel like Garna is the one that I really pin my hopes on. He's the one that's been getting me off my seat. And if you ask most Manchester United fans, they'd actually agree with that. And when you're looking at the data, Garnacho is actually the one that's picking up a lot of the shots. In fact, last game in the Premier League, he had 8 shots. That's like unbelievable for a player that's, has rotation risk and injury prone or just not the main talisman of the team. And so I'm looking at the next couple of weeks where Man United have good fixtures, and I think if Garnacho's starting, I do want to be backing him, and we're just going to keep this bet very consistent. In every easy game that Man United have over the next 5 weeks, we're going to be backing Garnacho to get 2 shots and 1 on target because that has hit in 4 of his last 4 starts. Keep it simple. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Come on, Garnacho. We need you, bro. Our second best bet takes us out to the G-Tech Community Stadium where Brentford are going to be hosting Ipswich, a newly promoted side. And in this match, we're going to be backing the LeBron James of the Premier League. And so we're going to be backing Bryan Mbeumo to get a goal or an assist, especially because he's at home. And the icing on top is just going to be the Manchester City money line because it's the best team versus the worst team. Just an odds booster to me. And so most of the odds are coming from Bryan Mbeumo, and let's just break it down. Now, so far this season, Mbeumo has picked up a goal or an assist in 5 of his 8 starts. And in the matches where he's blanked, 2 of them have come up against Liverpool and Manchester City. So if we just take the 2 best defenses in the league outside of the data, he's picked up an attacking return in 5 of 6 starts. He's genuinely so consistent, and I absolutely love that about him. And that actually dates back over the past 2 or 3 years whenever Ivan Toney's not in the lineup and Brentford have just become Mbeumo's team. He's been so consistent, where without Toney, he's played 31 games for Brentford and gotten 28 attacking returns. So his consistency isn't just over a small sample size, it's over a larger sample size of over 2.5 years. And so it just makes sense. Whenever Mbeumo is at home, playing against a bottom 10 team, you'll find that I usually like to bet him because he's so talismanic on the set pieces, on the pens, 90 minutes, exactly the type of player that you want to be putting your money on. And he's going to be coming up against Ipswich, the 19th worst defense in the league. One reason that I specifically love this bet is because of the zonal weakness that Ipswich have, where they have Leif Davis as their left back, and I know that he's their left back, but he really has an attacking mindset to go score goals and create chances for his team because he's so talismanic and important to them. So the mindset of the defender that's going to be on Bryan Mbeumo's side is going to be bombing forward to create chances, and that's going to leave giant gaps for Mbeumo to capitalize on, whether that's because Brentford are dominating possession or if they're going to be scoring goals on the counterattack. Mbeumo will likely get his fair share of chances, and I want to be backing him to get a goal or an assist. Our third best bet takes us out to the Emirates Stadium, and this is going to be the match that's going to be the most important game of the entire week because it has so many repercussions, and we're going to be backing Liverpool to win or draw versus Arsenal and under 5 goals in the match. Arteta, the coach for Arsenal, usually likes to set up in a very defensive low block, especially in the bigger matches, and to get goals on the counterattack. So usually the unders on some of the big games almost always hit very consistently. Under 5 is ridiculously high. I don't even expect 3 goals in the game, so I should really be taking under 4 goals realistically, but I'm going under 5 just in case there's a moment of magic from Martinelli. He did get the man of the match in the Champions League for a reason, and apart from Martinelli, there is no threat that I feel like Arsenal really have in this match. And it's because they have a lot of injuries. You see, Bukayo Saka is their star boy, and he's going to be playing at 70% fitness. Then you have Martin Odegaard, their captain, that's going to be out of this match, and their main center back in William Saliba is suspended. Arsenal genuinely have no chance to win this game. Now, of course, the reason why the odds are so nice is because Arsenal are at home, and anything is possible, especially in the bigger games. But in a specific moment like this, where Liverpool have gone out there in their first 11 games in all competitions and won 10 of them, let alone drawing They've won 10 of their first 11 games. It would be really surprising to see Liverpool lose. Now, anything's possible. You're coming up against Arsenal, one of the other like top 3 teams in the league. So, of course, Liverpool can lose. But in the scenario where they've lost their best player, that's not 100%, their captain's out, their best defender's out, it just makes sense to be back in Liverpool. The value on them is just way too high. This bet should be at 1.5 or 1.6 odds. But for 2.1, I'll take that every single day of the week. In addition, I feel like Salah's matchup could actually be the perfect scenario because Saliba is suspended. I'd expect Ben White to be playing right back, Gabriel partnering Kiwior in the middle, and on the left-hand side, there's an injury doubt over Jurriën Timber, there's an injury doubt over Calafiori, and that could mean that Tomiyasu might start as a defensive left back, but I think Tomiyasu is also nursing an injury himself, and so that means I think Zinchenko might actually get the start for Arsenal, and if that happens, I'm going to be making this a 3-unit play. Legitimately, if I see Zinchenko starting, this is 3 units. But if Zinchenko is not starting, it's still going to be 2 units because I just think that if Zinchenko starts, Salah will absolutely destroy him. Salah loves the big games. He's been killing Zinchenko for years. He loves playing against Zinchenko, Cancelo, those types of not good defensive defenders. So I just feel like this is the type of situation where I really want to be backing Liverpool. I'm a Liverpool fan more than I am a league fan, so there is a little bit of rose-tinted glasses, but this does feel like the perfect textbook bet on paper, and I genuinely cannot wait to watch this match. So this is going to be my best bet of the game week. Our fourth best bet takes us out to the King Power Stadium where Leicester are going to be hosting Nottingham Forest. And in this type of match, you would have thought it could have potentially been a 6-pointer, or it could have been 2 teams fighting for relegation, but Nottingham Forest have really improved this season. And so when I'm looking at the data, Nottingham Forest are just mid-table for defense and mid-table for attack. And when you're looking at Leicester, they're in the bottom 5 for both defense and attack. And so that's why I really want to be backing Nottingham Forest to win or draw. And we're going to be adding in Chris Wood to have a shot on target because he's been so consistent so far this year because he's picked up 5 goals from 3.5 XG. So he's overperforming his data. He's really hot. But not only just from a finishing perspective, he's picked up 1 shot on target in 7 of 8 matches. He is genuinely Nottingham Forest talisman. If they're scoring, Wood is going to be involved. And it just feels like the obvious, simple bet to be backing Nottingham Forest, the better team, even though I know that the newly promoted sides usually pick up all of their wins or results at home, but I still back Nottingham Forest because I just think they're the better team. As simple as that. I'm going to be picking the talisman player that's on the pens, that's going to be playing 75 plus minutes in the match to be getting a shot on target. I mean, it is what it is. I'll live with the results. Our fifth and final best bet is going to be a 2-unit play because I'm not going to be changing the odds, and that's going to be Erling Haaland to score and Manchester City to win. Now, this is just the best team versus the worst team at home. This feels like the banker. This is the one that can't miss. And honestly, I don't even like Haaland, but he's just been so consistent this year, picking up, 10 goals in 8 games. I know he's blanked for 3 games in a row, but in the Champions League, Man City had a very solid performance, and Southampton are just there to be targeted. Like Arsenal went out there and smashed them, scored 4 goals against them. I'd expect Man City to at least score 3 goals, even without Kevin De Bruyne. Now, I know that whenever KDB is available, Haaland has at least 4 big chances in games, but whenever KDB is not available, Haaland just gets like 1 or 2. But I would still back the team to create a lot of big chances just because Southampton are so poor. So I think it just makes sense to be backing Erling Haaland. The odds are only at 1.5, so in order for us to gain 1 unit of profit, we have to put 2 units on it. So hopefully this doesn't screw us, but I really like this bet. It's simple, best player, best team versus the worst team. I mean, how could it go wrong, right? Hopefully I provided some value to you over the course of this video. If I did, just do me a favor, drop a comment, hit that like button, and I'll talk to you guys again next week. Peace.